Hey guys, welcome back to my Ultramoon Hardcore Nuzlocke. This is part 54, I think. And in the last one, I defeated Acerolla's trial. And it was a very tough one. I almost lost 3 Pokemon. 2 of them were very low health and 1 of them was almost on the verge of being sacrificed. But we made it out and I don't have any retirements, so I'm feeling good today. So yeah, now I'm just gonna go and continue and get some more encounters and kind of go towards Aether House, which is where the flag is kind of showing. I can actually show you that real quick. I kind of don't ever do that, but look at that. Look at Rotom right there. You can see the red flag over there. That's where I need to go, and that's the location of Aether House, which I just came from. But I'm not gonna do that right away. I'm gonna go and do an encounter, in fact. Maybe I'll get a couple of encounters today, who knows. But yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna start with the team that I'm gonna go with today, or at least for now. Let me raise the table. When we start with Babble, the Alolan Graveler, and it's got Thunder Punch, Self-Destruct, Stealth Rock, and Rock Blast. It's at level 35, has the Magnet Pull ability and the Eviolite item attached, just to increase its defenses. I will show you this thing's EV spread in a moment, but I'm gonna go and do the rest of the team first and I'll come back to it. Next up is a returning Beckenbauer, only the greatest Nuzlocke Pokemon of all time, aka Gyarados, level 35. It's got Bulldoze, Ice Fang, Bite, and Aqua Tail, and it has the best ability in the game, which is Intimidate. Not much needs to be said about this thing. It's an absolute powerhouse. It's my comfort blanket. It is my precious. It is Beckenbauer the Gyarados, my goat. Following that is Podolski, almost at level 35. And it's got Quick Attack, Aerial Ace, Roost, and Flame Charge with the Flame Body ability. I'm gonna give this thing a Citrus Berry in a moment, but that's what it will have. It's almost at level 35, so I just brought it along because it needs some experience. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Coming back into the team 2 videos in a row is Gomez, the Chinchino. This thing cleaned up the first part of the trial of Acerola, and I'm very thankful for it. It's the speedy Chinchino with like at level 36, with Encore, Thief, Charm, and Tail Slap. Has the Technician ability and the Citrus Berry item attached. Again, another returning Pokemon, Noya, who almost lost his career. I should say, not his life, but his career in the Nuzlocke. But he made it out on 3 HP, and he's at level 36 now. And he's got Roost, U-Turn, Steel Wing, and Pluck with the Skill Link ability. And finally we have Gertza, the Incineroar, my bench-warming guy from the last trial. And it's got Fire Fang, Bite, Brick Break, and U-Turn with the Blaze ability. It's at level 36. I'm going to give these guys Citrus Berries as well, so that they can kind of augment their bulk for what I'm about to do. But before I finish that off, I'm going to quickly show you the EV spread of the Alolan Graveler, Babble, because I don't believe I did that. Sorry about the camera shifting. Look at Babble. Look at the attack. Look at the defense. Look at the HP. And then look at the special defense. It looks pretty decent, right? And that's because I gave it 248 special defense EVs, along with its sassy nature has improved that significantly. It also has max HP and a tiny amount of attack. The idea with this thing is to make it kind of all-round defensive, and so it can kind of tank a lot of hits, especially with the Eviolite item attached. Hopefully, if those are resisted hits. If it's not resisted, then this thing is kind of useless there. But I didn't want to make it very lopsided in one direction. I could have done. I was thinking about making it max defense, max HP, to make it just a physical wall, but I decided against it. Maybe that will be a mistake, and maybe I'll have to change that EV spread at that point, but this is what I'm going with for now. With all that being out the way, excuse me, I'm gonna go to Route 14 and then all the way to the Thrifty Megamart. Off camera, I also battled a couple of trainers on this route, which I've already finished now. They were very easy, they just had one Pokemon each, so I thought, you know, why even show that after the trial. I also collected the totem sticker that was in between these Murkrows, so that's done now. So yeah, I'm gonna go into the Thrifty Megamart, the abandoned site, because now we have an encounter that's available. This area is now open for business, or I should say open for capturing Pokemon. So I'm gonna go in here, and this is where the next encounter is. So let's talk about the possible encounters in this area. There's one duplicate encounter, and that's a Golbat at 20%. There's also Haunter at 20%. There's Shuppet at 20%. There is Klefki, the Steel and Fairy type from Kalos, at 15%. And you can also hit Mimikyu at 5%. Now, if I do hit Haunter, by the way, it has a chance to do an SOS call for Gengar. And if that happens, I'm gonna try and get the Gengar. I'm not gonna go for the Haunter anymore. I don't know if I mentioned that in earlier videos, but I count the SOS as part of the same encounter, so I want to catch the best Pokemon possible. I don't want to use Haunter, I want to use Gengar if possible, so I'll go for that. The second thing that's of note now is you may have noticed that I'm leading with Babble. And the reason for that is that Babble has the ability Magnet Pull. In the context of a battle, Magnet Pull essentially acts as a shadow tag for steel types. So if a steel type switches in on the opposite side, it cannot be switched back out unless it uses, I guess, U-turn or Volt Switch or whatever, a switching type move. Outside of battle, this thing has a similar effect, where if there is a steel type encounter available in an area, instead of whatever its encounter rate is, it will become 50%. So basically now my encounter table looks like I have a 50% chance to hit Klefki and a 50% chance for everything else. I don't know how they calculate that, but basically I have a 50-50 to hit Klefki here. And I need Klefki, funnily enough, over Gengar or like Haunter or something big, or Mimikyu. And there is a reason for that, but I can't really tell you that reason just yet. So you're just gonna have to trust me on it. But I do want the Klefki. So yeah, that's why all this elaborate setup. So without further ado, let's do this. Let's get the encounter. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? It's Klefki! I hit the Klefki, the 50-50. Nice. This is what I wanted to see. Babble, you have done your job, my friend. Good job. So male Klefki, okay. I'm gonna Thunder Punch. Oh, I should have thrown a Quick Ball. I'm so dumb. This is stupid. Why did I do this? The good thing is Klefki doesn't have a super effective move against me. Okay. Crafty Shield. This is a weird move. It blocks any kind of, status moves. Para? No para. Okay. That's fine. So now I'm just gonna catch the Klefki. I do have Dusk Balls here, so I'm gonna use Dusk Ball. Maybe it's a good thing, because I've been catching everything with a Quick Ball. It kind of looks a little ugly now. All I have is Quick Ball Mons. And Klefki has been captured. This is huge for our team, for our squad. Klefki is very useful in one exact way. Podolski's up to 35 as well. Look at that. Oh, and you were wondering why I had Podolski on the team. Well, this was the reason. Because Podolski's about to become crazy good. He's about to become really powerful. I'm so glad this thing is finally evolving. Finally. We have Talonflame on our squad now. The fire-flying Pokemon of dreams. The Colossian Corviknight, I call this thing. But it's not Corviknight, obviously, that's a dumb comparison. But it's a regional bird. And that completes this evolution line. Podolski has waited a long time for this. And we have finally got this. So let me show you the the Pokedex entry here. So Talonflame, the Scorching Pokemon. As you can see, Fire and Flying type. Height of 3'11", couldn't quite make it to 4 foot, and weighing in at exactly 54 pounds. The bird Pokemon make up most of its diet. Yikes. It approaches at high speeds and smacks them down to the ground with its powerful kick. That's funny. This thing doesn't learn a single kick move. Why the fuck is this the Pokedex entry? Most of its moves are flying type. What the hell? I don't think it learns any kicks. There we go. And then Klefki as well. Alright, Klefki. Good job. I needed this thing. I know it's hard to understand why I went for this instead of a Haunter or a Gengar, but I will explain it later. It will become very clear later. Anyway, Klefki, the Key Ring Pokemon, Steel and Fairy type, which is unequivocally, unquestionably the best type combination in the game. It's weak to ground and it's weak to fire, and that's it. Nothing else. It's got a height of 8 inches. Very small, but it weighs 6.6 pounds. That's heavy for an 8-inch thing. Anyway, long ago it lived in mines, but once the minerals that made up its diet became scarcer, Klefki began appearing in human settlements. Okay, that makes sense. I know this thing's design is very weird as well. I don't like this Pokemon, but this is going to be useful. I don't like its design, I don't like anything about it except for one thing, which I will talk about in a little bit. But before I do that, I'm going to whip out the wheel, because it's time to nickname this boy. So, hang on, and the wheel will be out in a second. The wheel is back, everybody, and I'm going to spin it for naming the Klefki I just caught in the Thrifty Megamart, the abandoned site, destroyed by Tapu Bulu. And we have 27 names left on this list. So we're kind of going down to the wire now. There's, I think, only 27 encounters in total left as well. There might be 1 or 2 more, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm just going to spin the wheel, see what Klefki is going to be named. Let's see what we get. And it is going to be... Alright, it's Thiago Alcantara, everyone. The Spanish Wizard, as we used to know him as. Thiago was a player that I first saw at Barcelona. He was a central midfielder in Barcelona in the early 2010s. And he was an excellent player. He was silky. He was a great passer of the ball. He had incredible vision, incredible skills, as you would expect of someone who is of the La Masia Academy. Now, he is a Spanish player, by the way, but he actually was born in Brazil. So he has both the Brazilian flair and the Spanish precision and skills. This guy was incredible. A little bit injury prone, but Bayern Munich signed him in 2014, I believe, for 22 million pounds, something like that. And that was because Pep Guardiola wanted him at Bayern once he'd left Barcelona and come to us. And what a player this guy was. While he was injury prone, his skills in midfield were excellent. He won many Bundesliga titles with us, like 5 or something, maybe even more. And he stayed with us for the majority of, he stayed with us up until 2020, 2021. I think, so this is what happened, right? Thiago actually won the Champions League with us in 2020. Soon after, he left for Liverpool, and then he played there for a couple of years as well. He's so decorated. He's such a decorated player as well, because he's got, he's won Champions Leagues, Bundesliga titles, he's won La Liga titles, he's won actually a couple of Champions Leagues, once with us and once with Barcelona. He also had, I think he also won the Euros as well, the European Championships in 2012. I believe he was in the squad, and yeah, just an absolutely silky, amazing footballer. I still miss him. I wish we had someone like him on our team still, because when he was on his game, he was absolutely unplayable. And hopefully Klefki is going to embody that, and it will be one of the titans, one of the more silkier Pokemon, I guess, on my team. But I'll nickname Klefki as Thiago, and I'll be back when I do it, so stay tuned. Alright, I've named Klefki as Thiago. I was thinking about Alcantara, but I just decided to go with Thiago because that's what's on the wheel. Plus, he always went by Thiago on the back of his jersey. It was always Thiago, so I'll just go with that. Let's look at the summary. Let's see what we have here. Bold nature plus attack minus defense. Probably the best nature for it, to be honest. Maybe calm nature would have been even better, but I'll take bold. This is good nature. Finally, I got good nature. It sucks it's on a Klefki, but it's okay. You know, this is a useful Pokemon. I went for this Pokemon, so yeah. And this thing is level 32, and it's got Draining Kiss, Crafty Shield, Foul Play, and Torment. And it also has, and this is the reason I want this Pokemon, by the way, because of the ability. Look at that ability. It's called Prankster. It is one of the best abilities in the game, in my opinion. It gives priority to a status move. So even if I don't give it any speed, which, I mean, you're not supposed to, this thing is not a speedy Pokemon, this thing is going to be a defensive disruptor type of Pokemon, because it can learn a lot of support moves, and they all get priority because of Prankster. So there's a lot of things that can be done with this Pokemon, and I'm kind of trying to make it through. There's like a few battles that I think this is going to be absolutely immaculate to use. So that's why I went for it. I will tell you when I bring it out, and then you will know what I'm talking about. But Foul Play is another very good utility move, despite being offensive, because it uses the opponent's attack stat instead of your own to deal damage to it. So you can kind of use the opponent's move or the opponent's power against it. That's kind of what Klefki's all about, really. About support and about helping the team and using, you know, other Pokemon. Because it's kind of a weak Pokemon in general, but the typing and the ability makes it pretty useful. It also doesn't evolve into anything, just so you know. So I can't use Eviolite on this guy. I'm going to send this to the box, and we're going to move. Alright, so now we have Klefki, or Thiago, I should say. Cool. So now that's done, I kind of want to show you guys another thing, but it's not related to our current story. I want to show you something though. I think this will be cool. So if I go back to the Akala Island and I go to Hano Beach here, there we go, Hano Beach. Now there's this thing you can do here. If you ever find yourself short on cash, talk to this guy. Glistening Sweat, Slippery Goo, the perfect tune that keeps Hano Beach going. Pyukumuku chuckers are desperately needed. Won't you become a Pyukumuku chucker? What's that? I'm one of the staff members responsible for keeping Hano Beach spotless for our guests, but Pyukumuku sometimes wriggle up on our beach from the sea. I don't know why they do it, but we just can't leave them out here. They shrivel up on land, and that's not all. Our guests get grossed out seeing them, and sometimes even getting hurt stepping on them. Probably the innards out ability hurting them there. So we end up with no choice but to chuck those poor Pyukumuku back into the sea. I'll explain the job to you. It's pretty easy. Step 1, catch Pyukumuku. Step 2, throw the Pyukumuku back into the sea. Step 3, report back to me at least once every last Pyukumuku on the beach is returned to the sea. So what do you say? Do you think what you have what it takes to be a Pyukumuku chucker? So many fucking weird things to say here. Alright, 6 Pyukumuku, that's what I need to take out. And so I'm gonna ask this thing to come to me. Wait, let me do this first. Turn to the right. You might be wondering why I'm doing this. I'll show you. At least if this is what I think it is. Look, it comes near me. Turn to the left. And it goes here. Play peekaboo. Boom. Playing with the Sandygast. Alright, now I run away, right? Now I'll come back to this thing. Look. Look, now he comes to me. And look what's under him. Look what's under him. It's a fucking... Look at that. Look, he moves away. There's a totem sticker. He was sitting on a goddamn totem sticker, the bastard. So I had to draw him out. Sorry, mate. I wasn't your friend. I was just using you. Anyway. Back to the Pyukumuku. Alright, 1 down. That's 1 out of 6. This one's gonna make 2. Puke Mooks. Alright, that's 2. Any hair? No. Any hair? Any hair? No. I'm never gonna interact with that Sandygast again. It reminds me of Mateus, my fallen brother. Puke? Alright, that's 3. I need 6. Oh, there's 4 right there. That's 4. Okay. 5. Alright, 5. So on here. There we go. That's 6. That's the final one. And it's been taken out. All the Pyukumuku are gone from the beach. They're all gone. So now all you do is go back to this guy. And you talk to him again. Good job, part-timer. You've got every last Pyukumuku that there was stranded on the beach back to the sea. Now that they're safe back where they should be, and the beach is safe for our guests, you're a real good worker, you know? You have a real knack for Pyukumuku chucking. I don't think you really need a knack for it. You just pick it up and chuck it, mate. I've got your pay ready for you right here. Take it. You've earned it. Look at that. 20 grand. This guy goes crazy. He's rich. Pyukumuku are one of the most famous of all the Alolan Pokemon. But a lot of tourists from the other regions don't understand their appeal. It's a real shame. But no matter how many times we toss them back into the sea, they come wriggling back up. The next morning like clockwork. Feel free to come back and help again whenever you have some spare time. Yeah, so this is just him telling me I can do this again. Every day. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have changed my outfit. Look, I'm wearing all black now. My purple and grey is gone. My backpack's different as well. I bought a new backpack. It's white. Got white shoes, white backpack, matching. Also, I'm looking sharp now. Look at me. Look at that. That's cool. So, I think I'm going to keep this one short. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. And in the next one, I'll go and do the the quest for Aether House. That should be done pretty soon as well. I think that's where I need to kind of go to continue the story, so I will do that in the next one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.